Usually, when we look at the streets in our neighborhood, we just expect them to be permanent. I mean, a road, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a poured concrete, blacktop, just, locked on the map forever. But what happens when your local council decides that a public street is suddenly, well, not a street anymore?
Right, which does actually happen.
It does. So, welcome to a deep dive into this surprisingly high stakes world of public road closures in New South Wales. Today, our mission is to map out the critical milestones of how local councils actually shut down these roads and, more importantly, how you, the adjoining landowner, can fight back in court.
Because you definitely can fight back.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. The entire process is governed by a framework called the Roads Act, and it's definitely not as simple as just putting up a couple of barricades.
Oh, far from it. I mean, before anyone even thinks about launching a court appeal, a very specific legal domino effect has to play out.
Right. I look at this process less like a simple timeline and more like a ticking clock or, a series of tripwires. First, under Section 145, the council has to actually own the road. And I don't just mean managing the pavement, right?
No, definitely not.
Like under the law, they have to outright own the physical dirt underneath it.
Right, the actual dirt. Because if they don't, well, they can't touch it. But if they do own it and they officially decide the road is, quote, no longer required, they pass a resolution.
And that starts the clock.
Exactly. That strips the first wire, which opens a 28-day public notice window. And that 28-day window is the critical first milestone.
Wow. Okay, so only 28 days.
Just 28 days.
Yeah.
It's the period where adjoining landowners, utility companies, or emergency services can formally object.
Oh, right. Emergency services. That makes sense.
Yeah. And if an emergency service or utility company, what the law calls a notifiable authority, lodges an objection that isn't resolved, they basically act as an absolute veto. The council is just legally frozen.
Which makes total sense mechanically. I mean, you can't just let a council sell off a strip of land and accidentally block an ambulance route.
No, definitely not.
Or, trap a major water main under someone's private property. The system needs those vetoes built in to protect core infrastructure.
Right, yeah.
But let's say the council actually clears those tripwires. They resolve the objections, get the necessary government approvals, and publish the formal notice in the Government Gazette. What actually happens to the physical dirt?
Well, instantly, all public access is legally erased. The physical dirt completely transforms. Because the council owned it, it officially becomes what is called operational land.
Operational land, got it.
Yep. The council is now completely free to sell that land on the open market, though the law mandates they use those proceeds specifically for future roadworks.
Wait, what if they didn't own the dirt originally?
Oh, if they didn't originally own the dirt, it simply defaults back to Crown land, so, state ownership.
Ugh, okay. Let's focus on that operational land scenario, though, because I feel like this is where it gets incredibly real for you, the listener.
It really does.
So imagine you live next to a quiet council road. The council decides it's unnecessary, they want to sell the dirt, and they initiate the closure. You object during that 28-day window, but, well, they steamroll right ahead.
Right, they just proceed anyway.
Exactly. The road is closed. Suddenly, your quiet street is about to be sold off to a developer. How do you actually stop this?
Well, what's fascinating here is that the Roads Act actually anticipates this exact clash between state power and individual property rights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, under Section 38B, well, 38B, subsection 1B specifically, it provides a direct path for redress. As a directly affected adjoining landowner, you can bypass local politics and appeal the council's decision straight to the Land and Environment Court.
That is a big deal. And the specialized court, they don't just, rubber stamp the council's homework. Right?
No, not at all. They actively weigh the mechanics of the closure. They are looking at the council's rationale like, maybe traffic is shifted, and the road truly is obsolete against the tangible harm it causes you.
Right, like losing access to your driveway or significantly dropping your property value?
Exactly. They're basically balancing the broader public benefit against your private detriment. Now, if the court determines the council's case is stronger, they will affirm the decision.
So that means a failed appeal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your appeal fails, the closure is final, and the sale of that newly operational land proceeds. But if the court sides with you, they set the council's decision aside.
Which essentially functions like, erasing the decision from the timeline entirely, right?
Basically, yeah. It's not just stopping future action. It legally retroacts, so the closure technically never happened.
Wow, that is powerful.
Yeah. Your access and the road's public status are instantly restored. It really highlights just how much power local governments have over our physical environment.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it shows why having that external judicial circuit breaker is absolutely vital. Without the Land and Environment Court weighing those specific harms, adjoining landowners would be entirely at the mercy of council resolutions.
Right, completely at their mercy. So what does this all mean? Ultimately, the Roads Act is a massive balancing act, trying to weigh the efficient management of community assets against your individual property rights.
It really is a tricky balance.
But there is a lingering piece of this puzzle that is hard to ignore. We mentioned earlier that councils get to keep the profits from selling these closed operational roads.
Right, provided they use the money to fund other roadworks.
Yes, which leaves you with a final question to ponder. Could the temptation of all that new funding quietly incentivize a council to close down perfectly fine, quiet neighborhood streets? Next time you see a road closed sign, you might just look at it a little differently.